How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile for set 10 of the One Piece TCG. We got Marco. I really like this leader. When I think of like red power reduction and KO control, right? I think of Marco. I know there's a few different Shanks list that either ran like control or some aggro, right? A bit of mix. For me personally, I really liked Marco for it. I played it a lot in set like 8.5, right when the star deck came out with the new gate. Really fun. And I also really like the events. So we have some options now. And I don't know if what lists are like looking like right now. I have heard from like set 11 over in the East that Mass Deuce definitely becomes more of a popular 2K counter option against things like Belo, which becomes more popular due to, you know, blue, purple Luffy being very popular, and the aggro Belo does pretty well into it, right? So I don't know. I'm interested to see if this could have any play, right? For 5 Don, we essentially can take something down 5k from that, 2k from your leader ability, and then pop a 2k power, right? So we can mine something by 7,000 total and then KO essentially a 9k power body for 5 Don. It's not bad, but it is pretty expensive. And you can accomplish the same thing with a Divine Departure, which also acts as a counter as well. I don't know. I obviously haven't really tested the deck too much, but this is just taking my old list from like 8.5 and trying to update it a bit. Not too much knowledge, but I have, since I saw Monet, liked the idea of it in Marco. Obviously, we can't bounce it back to our hand so much, but it does give us another option to play off of Ivankov. And they kind of have to swing into Monet lest you get just a ton of value from it continuously, especially once we get things online like our new gate or even like Rayleigh or Marco. Combos well with Mass Deuce as well, right? Early game. And then we have things like Seaquake, right? But if you are not familiar with Marco, let's get into it. Before we do, leave a like, subscribe if you want to support this channel in any way. I've got a TCG player affiliate link in the description if you're going to be picking up any cards. I also have a coupon code for Nen Garden, 5% off using code Straw Hat Pecan. That stacks with their other sales like their spring sale. You know, I've got a few playmats from them. Really nice stuff. Check it out in the description. But Marco is a 4-life red and blue leader, 5k power, Don ×1, activate main once per turn, draw 1 card, and then place 1 card from your hand at the top or bottom of your deck. So you can either stack it for a play coming up, like to use off of a 9-cost Sanji, right? That's one of the more famous plays, right? Very high value of it to play out a 9-cost and then cheat out like a Rayleigh. And then you can give one of your opponent's characters minus 2k power. So really good value in that, just built in for attaching 1 Don, you get 2 Don of value by minusing your opponent's character. That leads to being able to KO, obviously through power like Marco, popping a 5k power body, right, on 6 Don, or Mass Deuce a little bit earlier on, or you can pop something on 9 Don or 10 Don with like a Rayleigh, right? And of course, the new gate works so perfectly for it. So getting into it, we have all over 2Ks here. First, Otama. I mean, if we're KOing stuff through power reduction, obviously great choice. 1 Don to minus 2k power. Just helps get that little bit extra when you need to. Then we've got Jozu. Just a pretty decent 2k for the Whitebeard package, giving us an option for Rush. You know, I could imagine slotting in the 5-cost Ace if I could type. Pretty good against removal, but I wanted to try for that flex spot the 3-cost Sanji, being that it does help us draw, and we can kind of you know, use this as an early game play if we don't have Ivankov, something like that. Then we have Mass Deuce. This is a Don ×2 when attacking, KO one of your opponent's characters with 2,000 power, also 2k counter. But again, just to remove some of those little bodies. I think this also works well with Zoro being very popular, right? Being able to remove some of the 3/4s that he has, you know, in conjunction with Marco's leader ability. Then we have the 5-cost Marco, 5/6/1. Your turn on play, KO one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less. Obviously, if we're on 6 Don, you can attach 1 to lead and then use the ability, buy something by 2k power, and then pop a 5k power. And then on KO, you may trash 1 event from your hand, play this out from your trash rested. So we do have a few events, right? If we want to save this. which is nice against removal. Then we got Rayleigh, such a strong red card. 8 cost, 8k power. On play, choose 2 of your opponent's characters. Give one of them minus 3k power, one minus 2k power until the end of your opponent's next turn. And then KO something with 3000 power or less. So this works really well with Marco's leader building, just giving you a little bit more range for what you can KO. The 3 cost Sanji, really good red card from set 10. 3, 3, 1. And then your turn, this character has plus 3000 power, so 6k power. Really nice. And then on KO, draw a card. Just really nice to replace itself, essentially, so we don't burn out on resources. Then we got Monet, another, I think, decent card for, a little bit more power reduction, and then attaching Dawn to leader does help because we need that, obviously. Activate main, you may rest this character, give up to 2 rested Dawn cards to your leader or one of your characters, and then give one of your opponent's characters minus 1000 power. So the fact that it can be on the board and then a turn or two later activate it to remove something with like a Marco, Rayleigh, or Newgate is really nice, especially if your opponent doesn't have any way to like remove it. Then we got the Newgate 780. On play, give one of your leader characters a rested Dawn, and then activate main, you can rest this character, KO your character with 5k power or less. Really nice because on 7 Dawn you can pop something with 7k power, right? Attach it on your leader from the on play. Use your leader ability, minus something from 7 down to 5, and then pop it with the Newgate. Beautiful. Of course, we got the 9 cost Sanji. We don't get to use it as well as the new blue purple Luffy coming up, but in set 10 we still do have a really nice synergy with this on 10 Dawn, being able to stack whatever we want to play off of with this. Just running at 3 copies because typically if you're able to play out 2 of these, game's pretty much over. Not many people can survive that many big bodies, but also the fact is we can cycle through a deck pretty well, and you don't need 4 copies, I don't think, because all of our other big bodies like our Newgate and our Rayleigh, we can just play that out by themselves and still get a ton of value from them, right? And sometimes your hand does get a little bit clogged with this at 4 copies. Totally fine to run out of 4 probably, but just right now to try more of the events, I don't know the ratios. I'm trying 3 Sequakes, so maybe you do 2 and then 4 Sanjis, don't know. But of course he's the on play, feel the top card of your deck, play 1 9 cost character other than Sanji. Really crazy. People used to run like the Newgate. Just ignore all that. People used to run this 9 cost Whitebeard because getting those 2 out was, pretty big board presence, but we can do more with removal and power reduction, I think, with these 2 cards. Then we have the Ivankov engine, the 3/4/1 Ivankov on play, reveal the top card of your deck, play 1 cost 2 character, not 2 or less. It is only cost 2 characters. Okay, so if you have like a 1 cost Searcher or Otama, can't play it. Only cost 2 characters. I've seen that mistake a lot, so emphasizing that. And then also when attacking, if your hand is 6 or less, draw a card. Pretty good because it again is a little body, not too threatening, but your opponent has to kind of respond to it lest you just keep your hand size pretty healthy. And then we have another 2 cost to play off of that Ivankov, the Duval. I've always liked it. I know people probably cut it, but I like Duval. He's just a nice blocker, looking top 3, helps you find more pieces you need. Played off the Ivankov just fine. Though to our events, we've got 3 Sequake, just 1 Dawn. Our leader has Whitebeard Pirates, so we can KO one of your opponent's characters with 3000 power or less. Obviously, really strong in Marco because we can minus something by 2 for free. Well, not for free with 1 Dawn, but being able to KO at 5k power with 2 Dawn is pretty nice. And it has a nice trigger to give one of your opponent's leader or characters minus 3000 power for the turn. So if your opponent's going for game, this could actually really mess up their math a lot. Then we got Divine Departure, just a 1 Dawn. Main, you may rest 5 Dawn to KO one of your opponent's characters with 8000 power or less. We can KO a 10k power with this and leader ability by just attaching 1 Dawn to leader, right? So that would be 7 Dawn, right? 6 for here, and then 1 for Marco's leader. And also it's a 1 Dawn counter, give your leader plus 3000, only leader, not character. Another important thing, because a lot of counter events just also say leader or character, but this is only leader. Then we got 2 Red Rock. We don't have the like dealing with 12k power bodies is a little bit tricky, right? So Red Rock just kind of helps with that, and we do have a lot of other things we could do with that remaining 4 Dawn in a Red Rock turn. So just trying out 2 copies, I feel like with how many 10 drops there are in the game, in the meta right now, pretty important. And then 2 Grab Blades for any like aggro decks. Again, Zoro, pretty popular. Just 7 Dawn to bottom deck 2 6-cost characters. There's also a lot of very strong 5-cost characters, so this does get rid of them outright. But yeah, not saying this is a solved list or anything. I'm just kind of taking from what I used to play with and adding a couple of new cards, well, old cards and some new, right, to test it out in the current meta. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you've been playing Marco, let me know how you've been doing with it. I think it's a very fun deck, so let's get into some games. Croc. One of my favorite villains from One Piece. We are going second. I feel like this is okay to keep, maybe. You know, we got a 2k counter. We got removal for any big body he plays. We got decent curve, right? On 6 Dawn, we can pop something with 5k power. Okay, he took new Croc. Okay. I think we'll just play out this. All right, let's see. Definitely don't need the new gate. However, we could cycle it. Or we can just cycle the one in our hand. Or we're going to have 2 new gates on the board and be really cool. But probably just going to keep some of this because we're just going to cycle next turn anyway. But getting that Monet out on 4 Dawn would be pretty cool. I don't imagine... I mean, he's blue. He could bounce some stuff. Do I care too much? I mean, we don't have the Ivankov, so we don't have to worry about hand size. He could pudding us, which would be really rude. Let's see. Oh, that comes at an inopportune time. We'll keep that in hand, obviously. I don't know if I care too much about the Mr. 3. Let's see. So that will... I forget the Miss Wednesday, because you really only see it in Lakers Croc, right? Purple, yellow. Too much. Yeah, just Dawn -1. But then if you act in an event, right, he gets... Oh, but he doesn't have a Dawn on him. All right, so much to think about. Let's see. Yeah, we'll start doing this because we want to start cycling out our deck. And then I think we'll just swing 7. Oh, so then he could use an event, but he doesn't have it. So maybe you would have wanted to keep the blocker, right? I don't know. But next turn, we can pretty much remove anything he plays out with the, you know, Monet, Marco. Well, we won't have rested on until we play out the Marco. So, you know, is what it is. I think we'll counter out here. We don't have a ton of counter, but next turn. Okay, yeah, so we cannot pop that unless we... Well, we can still use the minus power. We just don't get to attach Rested Dawn here, right? Enemy character -1. So that's actually kind of perfect. Bottom of deck. I think we'll bottom deck the Divine because we have other options that are probably a little bit better. And then we'll pop that. Beautiful. And then we give him something to swing into that's 3k power so he can't hit it with the Searcher. So that kind of acts as a bit of a blocker, right? Also, I'm not, I forgot to mention that. I'm not saying the Marco is going to be a super strong deck. I think he does. I don't know how he is doing in set 11. I'll be honest. I haven't caught up too much with set 11 stuff in terms of like rankings and tournaments, but he's just a deck that I enjoy. I think we'll block out. Honestly, I won't mind because we could maybe KO whatever he plays out. He could play out the Croc. Yeah. Which if he does, we might be able to pop something with 7k power with the Monet, right? Bring it down by 1, then bring it down by 3 more, and then pop. Or with the new gate as well. I think that's probably a bit better because then we get to do a little bit more with our Rested Dawn, I guess. Maybe if we had more counter to keep the Otama in hand would have been better. Okay, so yeah, Croc comes out with the Missile Sunday. I love that card art so much. We don't care too much about this though. Right now it's just a 5/5. And we can, of course, we don't even need to rest the Monet. We can just play this out. Boom. Let's go here. We kind of want to keep our counter. I don't think we need the Grav Blade if we can kind of use the Rayleigh maybe next turn to deal kind of similar things. So let's keep cycling. So boom, he is a 5k. We'll just pop that, swing 6, and he hasn't been able to attach any Don to his leader, which is a little unfortunate. And then we'll swing 7. Hopefully he takes. Cool. All right. So next turn we can use Rayleigh, Monet, and leader. Right. Pop something a little bit, and then maybe combo that with Newgate. Very, very nice if Newgate sticks before you play out Rayleigh, right? Because obviously then if you have the power reduction, you can KO 2 bodies, right? Which is obviously very nice. He gets the Desert Spada. Plus 2,000, right? And then look at top 3. Cool, cool, cool. So we haven't found a Sanji, which is unfortunate, but let's see, 5 at us. We'll counter 1 from Marco. What does he have? He has a deposit. Well, yeah, put a Don on leader. Yep. We'll give 2k. 7 Don. We might be able to, yeah, pop both things if you. Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. Let's go. Draw 2k. Okay. I don't think we need a second Newgate. So, yeah. We'll just play out. Boom, bam, pop. So now we can swing 7, and then we can even pop one of his little guys if we think he's going to swing at us. But we're not in danger, even if he splits among the 3. Really, we're still at 3 life, and the fact that he took down to 1 is a pretty good sign. And then if he does play out something big like a Sanji, we could Red Rock one of them, and then still have really big bodies to swing into him with. 5, we'll counter 1 with Monet. I don't know. If he's giving us just a 5k swing, I don't mind, even though we're pretty low on resources anyway. Croc. Okay, so yeah, definitely gonna Red Rock. Does heal him, but getting that out of the way, allowing him to preventing the cycle, even though Rayleigh would be really good. Do we get him with Rayleigh? Take him down to a 7. Take him down to a 4. We do get with Rayleigh, actually. Let's use our leader. Bottom deck the Red Rock. So we're going to go boom, bam, pop that, and then pop that. Beautiful. So yeah. This is why I do like the Ivankov, right? We do burn through a little bit of resources. We are a control deck, but we don't have kind of some of the recurring value from like trash and such that other decks do, like Rob Lucci, for example. Which is why some of these little bodies are very important for that kind of forcing a swing into them, being that it protects our life so we don't have to counter out so much of our life. You see he goes Desert Spada. And then we still have a... Yeah, this is a card that I was thinking about the whole time. Mr. 1. He could have been a little bit tricky because he gets plus... was it plus 1? For every 2 events. Yeah. For every 2 events in your trash, if your leader has Baroque Works. Which, he has a couple, right? I don't know. I don't think he saw that many early, so he wasn't able to use his leader ability really, which was unfortunate. But here we're in a pretty safe spot, I would say. Also, he uses the event to block out with his little guy. Okay, fair enough. Maybe I should have prioritized clearing them. If he plays out another Croc, we don't really have an answer for it. We'll have to take. Okay. And then he is an 8K. All right. Honestly, we could probably just split and go for game. Don't know. He could have some crazy events. He's leaving Dawn open. We'll take. Okay, we got another 2K, so that's cool. Let's just fish for, I don't know. Don't really need too much. We're gonna mize him in case he uses some kind of an event. I don't know. I think we're just gonna go a few 9s at him. Honestly, we can go 9, 9. Like we can go a little bit higher too. We can go 9, 9. Probably like or 6. So that would be 7 down left. 5. Like 11 or 12 or something like that. See what he got. Yeah, 7 Dawn and 6K and 8K. Spada. So at least not the event that retargets the attack. But honestly, I don't think I'd mind that if it lost him a body. He draws 1. He still needs 2 cards at least to get out of it, which he does. Okay. If I do 2 more, that's 4. I think I can go 10 and then 11. Is that the best numbers? Think so. Yeah. And then we have a bunch of 2Ks, hopefully. Okay, GG. Smoker. We'll take first. Pretty decent. We can probably bottom deck a 2K. Yeah, let's... Actually, do we need 2 Marcos? Sure. This could be really good to get out a Tashigi, right? Before we pop something else. It does hurt that he has plus 1K power. That actually is like perfect against us. I don't know who at Bondi was like, you know, that pretty boy Marco got something against him. He got a Mode and a Sanji. Nice. Okay, we'll just poke 5. Play out our own Sanji. Because it makes that everything a little bit harder to pop, but we'll do our best. Next turn, we'll see what he does. I think we'll take this. Another Marco. Interesting. 4 Dawn for the blocker. Oh no, a Sanji. Okay. Unfortunately. Right. Can't pop that. Well, I can. But I'd rather not. I'd rather establish a Marco. Which we can get rid of a Virgo, you know, but then I want to get rid of this. That requires that. Well, no, I wouldn't be able to because he's a 6K. I would have to do something else too. So we'll swing 5 and 6 and then pop one of these Virgos. Sure. Oh no, what am I thinking? He's not a 6, he's a 4. I saw the plus and for some reason thought he was still on that. It's just the +1 from his turn. So he's a 4K. I could have gotten rid of it with the but I'd still rather, I don't know, establish a 6K power body. Don't know. It really does. I don't like going first on Marco. I don't know about y'all. The best part of going first is like seeing the new gate on it, but we really haven't been able to use our leader ability too much. I just hope that he values my Sanji and doesn't just rush me down. I am very fragile. We got another 2K. Never mind. I've got more 2Ks than I probably need. So we'll counter. Sure. Rush Zoro. Honestly, if any other deck besides the starter deck was going to use this, probably be Smoker, right? That's pretty good. Being able to restand the 2 Dawn, you know? We'll go 2 and 1. Do I want to give up the Marco though? Not really. We'll take another 2K. So, okay, we're gonna get rid of a 2K. Oh geez, okay. This feels really bad to have to do this. All right, we're gonna go here, boom. What do I want to get rid of? I guess the Zoro. Either way, they get so much value off of it anyway. So let's see what they get out of it. Yeah, that is pretty good, huh? Yeah, pretty good. We'll just swing 7 and then big number at life. I don't know. This is just a very bad curve in hand, truthfully. I can't really, like, ignoring it is just the same thing as letting him play out the 5-6 essentially. Not really, you know, because 5-6 is a brick in hand, but he would just played it out next turn anyway and then had 2 bodies. 8 cost Kid. Luckily we do have decent answers to that, right? With any form of power reduction. We are going to be on 9 Don, so perfect for Rayleigh as well as, you know, pop something. Does he go for the Marco? He does. Okay, big swing there. I kind of want to defend this. And I can still defend my life. Because I want just more swings to swing into the Kid to get rid of him. Let's go with the Mass Deuce, because we're not using that this matchup. Tashigi. Okay. Yeah, we're going to bottom deck that. Give you -2. So yeah, that already really helps anyway. And then we'll just play this out. Boom. Bam. Pop nothing. Get the Tashigi to rest itself. Sure. But he's a 3K. So we go 6 into 3. He defends, but with a lot of cards. Okay. And at least Luffy will be minus for the next turn too. So cool. We got rid of it. Nice. We still have 2 2s and a 1. Maybe they just push for game and we can survive. My best option is they Hody and we have enough counter to live somehow. I mean, we can get out of a 9 right now. Plus whatever. Beckman. That hurts my feelings. I love Ben Beckman. But man, the trash events, or trash, right? That hurts. Yeah, even that -2 from Rayleigh doesn't seem to affect him too much because now he's going 8 at my life. Even staying at 1 life doesn't feel great here. He's just gonna swing 6. Oh no, he's swinging 5 and oh. Yeah, we'll give 1 there. Yo, there's a chance we Jozu rush for the game. Honestly, what is our other option? We pop these 2 and then what? Hope he doesn't split and win? Because Jozu is a Don ×2, right? Yeah, so he'll be a 6/6 rush. 3 cards in hand, 2 life. Does it happen? Is it risky to swing 7 here? No, because we can still pop something if we have to pivot. Okay. 9 and then is that too little? Seven. We have to commit. Please have no counter. I'm begging you, please. This is not how I wanted to win, but if it is, it is. 9. Oh my goodness. Holy GG. Wow. The Jozu rush for the win. Crazy. Because we had a brick from our last life and the next was a Monet. So yeah, if we pop that get that. He still has another rush to go split for game 2, so we would have been done for if we tried to clear. That was the only way we won right there, is swinging 7-7-9. Crazy. We got Belo Betty. Actually, we can see if the Mass Deuce helps. This is a really good starting hand for they chose second. Like these two pieces are pretty good. Then we can fix the rest of it. I'm gonna mulligan for the Mass Deuce though. Pretty cool. We got him. We got a second one. Okay. We don't need Red Rock, so that's something. So yeah, we can start KOing their board. That'd be nice. Like a Karasu, get it out of there, and then also Monet. Like with that is exactly what we need. Top deck that, because that actually will perfectly help us in this match. Like those are the 3 cards I think we really need. Pop that out. So hopefully we can get a good showing. Example, I guess. See how this fares. I think the Ivankov and the Monet here really helps, right? And then Rayleigh, of course, being able to get rid of a couple of bodies. It's just a matter of we can survive long enough. Hopefully we can. If they play out the Karasu, obviously that's our target to remove next turn. Pitch the Searcher, so they probably have a few counter cards. Who knows? Okay. I think he'll be a decent target to get rid of. We'll stay healthy right now. We'll just take the 1 swing, I guess. Unless they choose not to swing here, which fair. No, okay, they do. So we can swing Mass Deuce at and then so go here, place on the top of the deck well, that's actually really good too, but we have the Monet, and then we'll get rid of you. But I do also want to get rid of him, but then he pops all my little guys, right? He pops the Mass Deuce, and I want him to have to swing into it. And then we'll go here, boom, deploy. Oh, I still have the option to get rid of the Ivankov. But yeah, I can't, with the Monet out and all this, it's kind of a friendly target. Boom. We'll swing here, pop that. And then we'll swing 6. So now also he kind of has to swing here. He takes. We could put up a blocker too. Ooh, hopefully, I mean, it's a trigger body, right? That is, ooh, that's rough. That is rough. Okay, yeah. But luckily that still requires him to swing with the Karasu turn being a little bit less at my life and more at my board would really help. Although he could just go for game. He could go for game. We could maybe recover. We have a couple of 2Ks and a blocker. We might want to save the blocker to put out. This is going to be a 8 at 4, which... Oh no. Okay. 8 at 3. Minuses the Mass Deuce. Okay, so we're gonna come out of this okay. Our best bet, get a new gate, right? That'd be really nice. Another Karasu. Oh, yeah, we need the new gate. Oh, he's comboing us. All right. 6. We'll take another 2K. Oh, yeah. I kind of forgot. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, we're not having a great time. The new gate though. Okay. So let's. I don't need more Rayleighs. I don't need more Rayleighs. All right. So we're gonna minus you. Pop that one. Swing there. Cool. Swing there. Cool. We got some counter at least. We're probably still goners because we drew 3 Rayleighs when we needed counter, but There's a chance that he prioritizes swinging at my Ivankov. I don't know. But here, you just go for it, right? Unless he doesn't? I don't know. That was a lot to play out when I can just pop the blocker with a Rayleigh and then swing in. If he doesn't have any counter, what does he pick up? 2K. He does. Okay, he does. So he didn't have counter until he picked that up. Interesting. So he has a 2K counter in his hand. That's all. If this survives, we... Ooh. I'm honestly tempted to counter out. What would I have after? I'd have enough counter to get out of this. I can't protect it from all of the swings, right? If I had enough counter to protect after that. Oh, wait. Oh, he got too greedy. Right, that is... So, honestly, we don't even need to use the Rayleigh. Is it necessary? No, right? No, I think it is. Oh, well, I don't know. Boom. Bam, boom. Just swing 5. He doesn't have any blockers left. If this was a blocker, we just pop it with that and then swing 5 and get the win. Yeah, could have won for game, I think. We'll see. That was a 1K counter. Yeah, GG. I think he could have gone for game. I mean, I don't think you need to play out that 2K, though. All right, we got Gecko Moria. I should take first from him, but I want to go second. A lot of 2Ks. But, yeah. We can fix this. I think we'll put out the blocker, because then also... Let's see. This and this. You know, something like that. If he Peronas, I still have to trash a card. Yeah. But maybe this... Here's the Absalom. I've seen a lot of people playing Gecko Moria now. Just, I guess like, you're just going like aggro wide. I don't know how good it is, but could be fun. I really have never played Gecko Moria. I love Thriller Bark. I like the arc a lot. Let's see what he goes. Oh, yeah. In that case, we'll. That's hard to remove too. Okay, I was hoping we get Otama or something that could make it be able to remove that, but yeah, that is unfortunate. That is going to be hard to deal with if he does remove my blocker. Yeah, I think we'll can't keep too many dead cards in hand. We'll just swing 6. I cannot KO because it's 6K body, so I can't get it with Seaquake. I was hoping he would just put out like a 5K body, but I forgot about Ryuma. New card. Very good. That... Okay. Okay. Alright. That sucks. Alright, just 7 of us. We'll go 2 and 1. Okay, not that bad. Not that bad. I didn't want to go down to 1 life there. You just swing the 6. We don't have to. Okay, we're scared. I'm just gonna die, I guess. At this point, we're not gonna live long enough to use a Sanji. Yeah, we're not gonna live long enough to use a Sanji. There's a chance that we get rid of both of these, right? We can pop this with Seaquake and Otama. Right, because he's a 4K. Right, so we can't even hit it with... So we'll have to do that. Let's go 7 into him. See if we got a 2K. Probably does. And then we just go 8 if he does. Save it. Okay. Swing there. Hopefully he swings into the Sanji so we get a bit more resources. But honestly, I could see him just pushing into my face. We've survived long enough though that we can play out the new gate. That'll help us a lot. Down to 3 life. And hopefully the Sanji acts as a blocker. Those 6K power bodies though are a little bit tricky. Yeah, I wasn't expecting double Ryuma. But this just brings back a 2 cost, right? Rested. So it would bring back... Yep. But nothing else. No Sindri or the blocker. Oh, he is Brook. Okay. Well, we can still pop the Brook. And then I guess he's going to go 6 at either our life, which we can defend. But we'll take that. Okay. We got another Sanji. I guess they really want me to play the Sanji. Okay. Do I want to remove this? Is the question. Let's go new gate. Boom. I guess I can try to get a bit greedy. Let's pop the Rebecca blocker. Swing 7 there. I don't think he moves it, but you know, we could have done a swing into life, but I'd rather get rid of the blocker and the Brook right now. So now we have a lot of 2Ks. We might be able to survive until we'll get rid of the Monet. 9 Don. Does he play out Stussy? Ooh, that's rough for us. Yeah. We can put out a couple bodies, and we can't remove it, right? But we can play out big bodies, and then she'll be a 6K for his turn. So that's a bit better for us to deal with. And then, you know, maybe he doesn't have a lot of counter. Maybe we get him down to 2 life here. Who knows? We do have 3 2Ks and a 1K. Okay. So boom, bam, bam, choose, and turn. So 6K, Stussy, leader swing. So unless he plays out some random rush card, which there is one. There's the Burgess, right? What else? I'm blanking, but I feel like there's a Thriller Bark one. No, is there not? I don't know. Yeah, I think I want. I don't know. I used to run the Doflamingo blocker in this that stacks top 5, and I feel like it's okay. I might honestly put the Doflamingo in place of the Sanji for another blocker, because again, it's nice to know what we'll draw into with our leader ability, and also just more blockers. To defend our life, because we're just a 4 life leader. Ooh, 8 at us. We can counter out of this. See what he does though. Trashes, plays out Ryuma. Yikes. We'll go 2. We might honestly have our best bet being a Rush Jozu. Who knows? A Shirahoshi blocker though. We could. Oh, he doesn't swing with her. Okay, so we can Marco pop that. Play out a blocker. That's not bad, right? Do I remove this just so he doesn't have a swing from it? All right, let's see. Okay, Okay. I don't think it matters too much. Let's pop the blocker. I mean, he just wins, right? I should have probably ignored that. I'm thinking about him splitting with it, but if he just has a pop for a 2 cost, which most likely, yeah, then he just wins because he double attacks. I wonder how much counter he had. We'll see. We'll see. The double attack is kind of scary in this, right? Honestly, if we had Divine Departure, we could have popped the Stussy. Yeah, that blocker is not going to save us. Unfortunate. Maybe we should have taken a life so the double attack wouldn't have mattered, but, you know. Honestly, he's swinging here first. If we get a lucky Grav Blade from life, it'd be crazy to win off that, but, you know. Oh. I don't think it matters if I take this or not. 1 and 1. Like, obviously we need to block the double attack, but if I blocked out there, he just double attacks and wins with that anyway. So we have to hope that he doesn't have a form of removal, or if he does, he has to expend some resources. He didn't have it. Okay, GG. Wow. Oh, that was stressful. Did he not have Absalom in his trash? After all of those, does he not run it? Right, because that doesn't just pop a 2 cost. That's crazy. He's gone through. I swung into this too much, right? Which gave him even more cycle. So that's kind of unlucky. But he did have a lot of counters, so he would not have won with the Rush Jozu. Man, all right, but those are some games. In the effort of consistency, I think we could go something like this for the Doflamingo, right? Blocker. Putting a couple of copies in that. Honestly, something like that. Cutting out another brick. Oh no, 1 Seaquake probably for that. And then putting in the other grab blade. So something like this probably is a safer bet. A safer bet and a more consistent bet, right? The Doflamingo blocker, I don't know if people still use it, but I like it personally. It adds to consistency. You know what you're drawing into. Another blocker never hurts, especially with a 4-life leader that we're using resources to remove anyway, and we're not getting that back out of trash or anything. I don't know. I think we need more draw engine as well. I'll have to look into it, put more thought into it. I like the deck a lot. It's very fun for me, but sometimes it becomes very fragile. If you can't survive healthy enough to play out like your Sanji into something else, or even just playing these out on curve raw to remove board, like without the Sanji to cheat him out, you know. So having 4 or 7 blockers, a couple of pseudo blockers, right, with our Ivankov and Monet that your opponent really kind of wants to swing into, you know. And then we're also kind of missing still an option to remove big bodies besides Red Rock. So honestly, I think I'd prioritize Red Rock over Gravity Blade when we have Rayleigh and Newgate to kind of deal with like wider boards. You know, you go Newgate on 7 or 8 and then Rayleigh the following turns, and you kind of deal with 2 characters at once at that point, if they're going super wide and low. You know, we have Divine Departure that KOs at 10k power, but I don't know. I guess in a world we have 4 cards to deal with characters from 10k to 12k power, so that's not horrible. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of the list. Obviously more space to grow and work with. You know, it's not a solved list, or maybe it is. Again, I haven't been looking too much at set 11 stuff, but just currently thinking in our meta, right? there are still a lot of big bodies. There's a lot of like 7 and 8K power bodies too, as well as some aggro decks there, like a lot of Zoro, you know. So yeah, I guess we'll have to see. Can't focus too much on the future like set 11 stuff just yet. We still got set 10 for a bit. So yeah, let me know what you would prioritize, put in, change, anything you would do differently in the comments. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.